Americans are the most entitled people in the world. Just this last week, I had this lazy coward come up to me and he was like, "Do you mind if I leave this shopping cart right next to you just in case somebody else needs it?" Keep in mind, there's a whole cart spot right next to this clown. And he wants to come up to me and is like, "Oh, do you mind if I just leave it next to you just in case someone else needs it?" That was his BS excuse to not return his cart because he's too much of a lazy, entitled clown, subhuman bozo to return his cart. And this is going to bring me into my number one point, which is the fact that so many Americans refuse to return their shopping carts. Now, to be clear, thankfully, most people do return their shopping carts. That's why the majority of carts, you'll see them in the corral, but there's still a large portion of Americans that do not return their carts at all. The same thing applies to the clowns that leave their trash in the carts. The same thing applies to the clowns that leave their carts blocking the exit doors. The same thing applies to the clowns that leave their carts blocking the parking spaces. People in America have become so lazy and entitled that they can't even, or they can, but they just refuse to return their shopping cart because they're lazy, they're entitled. They come up with the most ridiculous excuses to not return their shopping cart, even though it's such a simple thing to do. What a person does with their shopping cart gives you a good idea of their character. And that's one of the things that I cannot stand about people, the people that don't return their carts. For those of you that are not familiar with Cart Narcs, he is a channel that basically what he does is he goes around and he goes up to people and asks them why they didn't return their shopping cart. He's on Instagram and YouTube. Love his videos a lot, but it just goes to show you how hateful, entitled, and lazy Americans have become. These people come up with the most ridiculous excuses as to why they don't return their carts. A lot of these people they'll say things like, "Oh, I'm disabled," and "Oh, I can't really walk. I can't walk that far." But yet they had no issue walking all across that store to shop and get everything that they needed. But the moment it's time to return that shopping cart, all of a sudden they come up with the most ridiculous excuses. "Oh, I'm disabled. Oh, I can't walk that far." Even if the cart corral spot is right next to them, regardless of the distance. People who don't return their carts are the laziest, most entitled piece of shit clowns ever. Imagine being that lazy. And imagine coming up with the most just idiotic excuses to try to justify your laziness and entitlement. People who don't return their carts, they think the world revolves around them. They have a mindset of, "Oh, it's not my job," even though they put other people's vehicles at risk of being damaged as well. If it's windy enough outside, that cart can roll over and hit other people's cars. They don't care about that, though. They don't think about it like that. They don't think that it's responsible for them to return it. They just prioritize their own little convenience over what their actions can cause to other people. The consequences of their actions, they don't think about that at all. They think the world revolves around them. And I've noticed in the majority of Cartnark's videos where he would ask people why they didn't return their carts and tell them to return it, these people would come out of their vehicles, start threatening him with violence, start arguing with him back and forth, chasing him around the parking lot. They have all the energy to chase him around the parking lot, threaten him, argue with him, but they can't do something so simple and easy, which is to return their shopping cart. They'd rather argue and threaten him with violence and chase him around the parking lot instead of just being a decent human being and just doing something so simple. You know, if you ever want to know if somebody, if you want to ever have a good idea of somebody's character, see if they return their shopping cart. It'll give you a good idea of their character. Now, I'm not saying like everybody that returns their card is a good person or anything like that, but I'm saying it's a clear sign, it's a clear indication of a person's character. It shows you whether that person has basic human decency or not. It shows you if that person actually thinks about others, actually thinks about how their actions can affect other people. Another problem is the fact that some people will take their anger out on workers for things that aren't even their fault. Workers that are already overworked and underpaid, that get treated like crap by the company. They'll have to deal with ignorant customers 24/7, customers that get a condescending attitude with you. They have a bad attitude with you. They try to take their anger and frustration out on you for things that aren't your fault. Ignorant customers that don't even respond back to you when you try to say hello to them. Some of them, most of them do respond back, but some of them don't. A lot of people in this country just don't even have basic respect and basic manners these days either. And I've actually noticed that. I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I have noticed that way more frequently with people in my age group. People in the Gen Z age group, I have noticed the most frequently have been the ones that haven't responded back to me. I would try to just say hello to them or whatever, how you doing? You know, they won't say anything back to you, some of them. But every single time I do that with an older generation person, it seems like I get a response every single time. Some of these people, you can help them out with a problem and they won't even say thank you. They won't even show any appreciation for you doing them a favor, for you helping them out. You know, just the basic thank you or I appreciate it. Some people can't even do that these days. This is how much people in this country have become just lacking basic respect, manners, you know, just entitled, lazy, all of these things that you can think of, all of the negative traits you can think of. These things are all big red flags, by the way. You know, some people might be like, "Oh, that's not really a big problem," but if you don't even have the basic respect and the basic manners to simply greet somebody back that said hello to you or how you doing or whatever, just simply responding back and ignoring them, pretending like you didn't hear them and stuff, like you're just a clown. And typically those are the types of people that typically think that the world owes them everything or that they're above people. They have like this mindset where they think that they're above everyone else and that everyone else is below them. The last thing I want to mention is how much people these days refuse to take accountability for their actions. Somebody could genuinely be in the wrong about something and they'll pretend like they didn't do anything wrong at all. They'll pretend like it's someone else's fault. They'll try to gaslight you. They'll try to make it seem like, oh no, that's not my problem. It's not my fault. Oh no, I didn't do anything wrong. And the whole cart thing that I've been mentioning is a prime example of that. The lazy and entitled clowns, every single clown, bozo that does that on a daily basis, the idiots that don't return their carts, these people are prime examples of that. They don't take accountability for their actions. They can be simply asked the question of, oh, why didn't you return your cart when the cart corral is right over there? The real answer is because they're too lazy and entitled and they don't care about how their actions affect other people. They don't care that they're blocking a parking spot. They don't care that the cart can possibly roll over and hit other people's cars and damage their vehicles, which has happened before, by the way. There are documented online cases of that happening. People's vehicles being damaged because clowns didn't want to return their carts. I'm telling you guys, go to a Walmart, go to a Target, go to any major retail store. And you'll see these carts abandoned all over the parking spots, all over the place, just scattered in the parking lot. People don't take accountability. People these days don't even have basic manners and respect. People these days have a superiority complex where they think that they're above other people. And they have this condescending tone where they act like they're better than you. They talk down on you like they're better than you. And they talk to you like you're just a dumb person that doesn't know anything. Just so much toxicity. And I'm not saying that this doesn't happen in any other countries in the world, but I'm speaking specifically in America. The things that I have witnessed is just insane. Just absolute insanity. So many clowns in this country. It's unbelievable. Let me know what you guys think about this subject in the comments section.